I hate YouTube! Sorry. I put 3 motherfucking videos of the Bengals up, and they're like, you put a duplicate of that fucking video up, even though they were not duplicates! Sorry. I mean, my reaction to that is kind of like how you Bengals fans, when you see Marvin Lewis still on the damn team, well, I know that you don't like what the hell's going on with that team right now. Kind of like how I don't like what's happening with YouTube, but I think that there might be some positives. Maybe we could get one YouTube video up eventually, and it could be about the goddamn Bengals. At one point, I used to call the freaking team the Cincinnati Pussycats, but I don't call them Pussycats today because I actually don't dislike their draft. It's a B minus. Billy Price, the center from Ohio State, could be good, but I think that there's a leap of faith on the Bengals' part because they believe that, because his doctor said that he'd be ready by training camp despite a torn pectoral muscle, he could be the starting center for the team. He's got OTAs, minicamp that he's not going through right now as he's starting rehab. So doing 2-3 things, trying to have him do a bunch of things at once when he has a major form of adversity to go through, and that is overcoming a pectoral muscle injury. I don't think that's gonna. I think that you have to pump the brakes with respect to Billy Price's future. Jesse Bates could complete the secondary, as it has been somewhat incomplete since it's been somewhat weakened after Reggie Nelson left, because he was their last really good safety before he left for Oakland. Sam Hubbard is a potential 4-3 end who could find a lot of sack production in Terrell Austin's wide nine scheme. Austin ran the wide nine in Detroit, but he also is familiar with the Baltimore schemes. He came from Baltimore before going to Detroit. And Hubbard is somebody who is a great athlete who didn't find great production, really didn't stand out until near the end of the 2017 season. Maybe he could do some damage, in the upcoming season, especially with Carlos Dunlap needing a complement. Malik Jefferson, again, a great athlete, not a great tape player from Texas, and maybe there's a chance that he could find success considering that Vontaze Burfict has a 4-game suspension due to a performance-enhancing drug violation. Logan Woodside is another one of those sleeper QBs that guys like Mike Mayock and Daniel Jeremiah. He's a guy that people say will be good one day, but he ultimately doesn't. He's the quarterback from Toledo. Pretty Ohio-centric draft, especially when you look at Price and Woodside. I mean, if they only drafted people from Cincinnati, and then they could be really Ohio. But hell, I don't even know. They don't even draft people from Akron. At Cincinnati, but it's got an Ohio theme with Hubbard, Price, and Woodside on the roster. Even though the picks have their positives and negatives, with the destructions taking place in Baltimore and Cleveland being Cleveland and Pittsburgh possibly imploding, the Bengals technically have a chance of winning the division. And a couple of these draft picks could be a part of that pursuit. I think that Marvin Lewis is also pretty angry that he was treated like a doormat by a bunch of critics, even Peter King, who's been a fan of his for a long time. I think that because he doesn't want to be viewed as that stale option, that stale guide, I think that he might be he might be externally motivated. He might be actually more motivated than ever to prove doubters wrong. And hell, Tyler Boyd could be a starter this year. I mean, with that game-winning touchdown pass, considering what game-winning plays can do for a lot of young players, that actually could propel him to be a starter in 2018 for the Bengals. Don't worry, if you're a Bengals fan, don't worry. I don't think that you should get overly optimistic. But if you see any destruction with other teams in your division, then you could feel better about the team. But the Bengals will find success largely because of the dominoes that take place and the things that are not in their control. However, if they have prospects and beat the Steelers, Bengals, and Browns one out of two times uh, this whole season minimum, then a division title is definitely a possibility.